Hey, what's going on, guys? Andy Baker here of andybaker.com and owner of Kingwood Strength and Conditioning. And I'm going to do one last kind of update video here from my biceps recovery. And then I'm going to do my best to try to not talk about it as much. But I'm hoping that some of these videos that I'm doing might be educational for some people in the future who are looking to come back from bicep tendon rupture. So for those of you guys that follow the channel that know about back in May, I ruptured my distal bicep tendon on my right arm. About a week after that, I had to have surgery to have it reattached, and then I was in a sling for about 7 weeks after that before I was able to come out of the sling and start training again. So at 6 weeks post-op, I started doing some lifting, and I've been training now. I guess I've got 4 weeks under my belt since then. I'm just starting my 11th week post-op. So I guess I've been training for about 4 weeks. I've made quite a bit of progress. So I'm pretty happy with how things are going. And then at the 12-week mark, which will be basically 1 week from today, I should be able to start ramping things up a little bit in terms of weight and not have to be quite as cautious with the elbow. I'm obviously still going to start light when I return to things like pull-ups and rows and that sort of thing. I'm not really going to rush, but right now I've only been able to train those types of movements with really, really light weight, and I'm just being cautious with everything else. But my training's been going good. So just to kind of let you know what I've been doing in terms of setting up my training split, I've been training on kind of a legs push-pull type of split. Reason being is just because that has allowed me to be in the gym more often, and after not being in the gym for like almost 2 months, I've been wanting to train as often as possible. So I've been wanting to get to program the exercises that I can do most often to make sure that I hit those, and so the ones that I'm capable of doing, because I'm not really capable of training everything really hard right now. So what I've been doing is on the lower body day has basically just been squats. I'm not able to deadlift yet, or I probably could, but I'd have to go really light, so I just haven't been deadlifting at all. So I've been focusing on squats on the lower body day, and then on the pushing day or the press day, whatever you want to call it, I've been really focusing on bench and incline. Overhead presses have been problematic thus far, so coming out of that sling, I've had a lot of shoulder pain and stiffness that's still lingering, so I'm trying to work that out, and it is getting better slowly but surely, but heavy presses have kind of been a no-go right now. I've been having to do those really light, so I'm really focusing on bench and incline right now, and then doing the presses later in the workout when I'm fatigued, because it doesn't really matter any way to prioritize them because I'm not really going heavy, but I've been able to go fairly heavy on bench and incline. And then I've been doing other things like direct tricep work. I was able to get some dips the other day, so I was happy about that. I tried dips a couple weeks after I started training and got exactly 0, and that was pretty disappointing. And prior to the injury, I had worked up to where I was doing sets of 10 to 12 with like a couple of kettlebells hanging from the belt, like 60 or 70 pounds or something like that. So dips fell off quite a bit, but I was able to get 9 the other day. I was pretty happy with that. And then on the pulling day is when I've been doing kind of a lot of my rehab work. I've been doing a lot of pull downs, a lot of seated cable rows, exercises like that where I'm able to work the bicep. But I haven't been able to do any of that heavy, so it's been a lot of light weights, a lot of high reps. I've started taking things progressively heavier, going by feel, but on recommendation of Dr. John Patrizzo, who's the physical therapist I've been working with, he said to really be cautious on those. So I've been doing a lot of sets of 20, things like that on there, and not pushing anything to the limit. I did start doing barbell rows last week. I was able to worked up to like 95 for a set of 20, real slow and real strict. Those felt pretty good. I have not been doing any deadlifts just because I can't deadlift with anything significant right now. So I've really just been focusing on the direct upper back work and then the squats. And then hopefully in week 12 next week, I'm going to start deadlifting again. So I'm interested to see how that goes. As far as training weights and all that, I started off, I've got my squats already back up over 405. Low bar squats are a real pain in the ass. So I've been doing a lot more front squatting, a lot more high bar squatting. I had one pretty good low bar session, and then everything else I've just been doing high bar and front squats because the shoulder is so aggravated right now. Bench and incline, you'll see in this video here with some of the training footage. I started off, first workout I did was like 95 pounds, and that was hard. Second workout I did, I went up to 135 for 5 reps. That was hard. And then in the last workout, I was able to incline 205 for a set of 8. And then the workout prior to that, I benched 205 for a set of 10, and then backed off and did a set of 185 for 15. So strength is coming back pretty good. I'm staying away from real heavy weights. I'm keeping things more in like the 8 to 12 range, just because I don't want to push it yet. Starting in week 12, I'll start lowering the ranges down a little bit. So, but that's what I'm doing. Kind of a legs push-pull. I've been keeping the intensity fairly high and the volume low. Reason being is I'm trying to train with as much frequency as I can, as heavy as I can. And so I'm not going to do a bunch of sub-maximal volume and pile up a bunch of soreness and fatigue that takes me longer to recover from. I just don't feel like I need a bunch of sub-maximal volume. So intensity is high in terms of the absolute load is not high. So it would still actually be considered low intensity training by the book, because I'm working a lot in like the 8 to 12 range, but intensity in the more literal sense is high, and that I'm taking my sets to failure. But I'm just not doing it with a really heavy load. And then training in that way, I'm able to train about, each body part or each lift about every 2 or 3 days. But I'm keeping the volume low so that as I come in, I'm able to handle an increase in weight and or reps at every session. And so far that's been working. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to keep it that way when I get done. I'm kind of liking the high frequency, high intensity, but low volume approach. That seems to be working right now. Right now, probably anything would work, but I'm going to run this out as long as I can, even when I get back to training, and see how this approach works, because I really enjoy it. The workouts are short and sweet. I come in, I hit really 1 all-out set on each exercise, maybe 2 all-out sets on each exercise, and then that's it. I move on to the next thing, or I just call it a day. So you'll see in this video here that I'm fixing to show you guys, like the other day, I did my leg workout, and it was just 2 max sets of front squat and then 1 set of leg presses. And that was it. I called it a day, but then I was able to train again like 48 hours later on the lower body. So I'm able to keep that frequency high, and I'm not all sore and beat up and everything. So anyways, guys, that's the update. Thanks for everybody's support. And if you want, go ahead and watch the video. I've got some front squat in here, some bench, and some incline. Nothing earth-shattering or overly impressive, but you can kind of see what I've been up to. And then hopefully here in the next week or 2, we'll be able to crank things back up and get some actual weight on the bar. So, all right, guys, thanks a lot. All right, so this was one of my lower body days from just a day or 2 ago. Started off with front squats, so just warming up here. Did a lot of warm-up sets. This was my second front squat workout since I've been back. The plan for today was just to take it up to a top single, and then from there back off and try to beat what I did last time. So my first front squat workout back wound up being like 275 for a set of 6. And so the goal today was I was going to do 275 again after the single, and then try to just beat that with set like 7 or 8 reps, which I was able to do. So if you guys notice on the front squats, I do these strap assisted. So I've got another video up on how to set up the straps for front squats. If you're limited in wrist and elbow mobility for a proper front squat rack position, the strap assisted method is really, really easy to use, and I like it a lot better than the California grip or the cross arm grip. Just makes it a lot more stable and really helps you drive up with your elbows and keep your chest up better than the arms crossed over type of grip. It also enables you to train in higher rep ranges, I found. So even if you do have a good rack position, a set of 8 or something like that on a front squat is kind of problematic. It just gets uncomfortable. This is my last warm-up set here at 305. Could really feel my upper back struggling to hold it. You can see the upper back is pretty atrophied. No pull-ups, no rows, no deadlifts. So it's under quite a bit of strain on these front squats. I can really feel how active it is. So here's my final single. I just worked up to 325. Actually went pretty good. This is a weight that I've done in the past for like 6 or 8 reps, but just for a single for today. I'll get back to it. Elbows stay high, knees go out, good depth, and that was a good top single for today. Backed off 50 pounds now, back to 275, which again, this was the weight that I did about a week ago, and I got 6 reps for it. So today, trying to add weight. Here's rep number 6, and then here's the ones that count, number 7 and 8. And that beat my previous post-surgery best, not my all-time best by a long shot, but I'll take it. And then backed off to 230. It's either 230 or 235, I can't remember. Those look like 2.5s on there, so I'm pretty sure this is 230. And this was my high rep set. So that's basically what I've been doing. Notice on this one I redid the grip. That strap was a little loose, so you want to have the straps nice and taut. And you'll see here, able to get 12 reps, and it stays pretty comfortable on my delts with these straps. It doesn't feel like I'm having to really hold it up with my arms or anything, and it's not bothering my wrists or elbows like it would if I was racking it like I was doing a clean. So yeah, that's kind of my programming for right now with the barbell stuff. One top set in like the 4 to 8 range, or just kind of whatever I can do with the next weight increment. And then one back off set of like 10 to 15. And I'm liking that. And then following that, the leg presses was something I was kind of toying around with while I was injured and not able to squat and had my arm in a sling. I wasn't able to go real heavy on them just because it was kind of awkward, even with the arm in a sling. You don't think that you use your arms, but you kind of get off balance in there a little bit if you're not able to grip anything. But I'm keeping these in right now. I'm liking throwing in a set of these after my squatting. So I'm really just doing like one set of 20 reps after my squats. And I'm really liking these. I feel like they're helping my quads a little bit, and I just enjoy the pump that I get. And building up a little bit of work capacity is helping on those higher rep squat sets. So I think I'm going to keep these in. They don't take very long to do. I just throw some weight on there and knock out a set of 20 and then move on. Leg presses, we knock those a lot. I don't use them that often with clients. I use them with a lot of my older clients. Some of my kind of power building type clients I program them for, but I'm definitely a squat guy, not a leg press guy. But I think in conjunction with the squats, they can play a role. I don't think they're essential by any means, but they're working for now. And then here was the next day. This was my bench day. I think this might have been Monday. This is just my top set. This was 205. I spared you guys all the warm-up sets, so let's get right to the work set here. I was pretty happy with this because I was able to get 205 for 10, and the previous bench workout that I had done a few days before that was at 185, and I had only done 185 for 8. So I was able to mark in my logbook that I was able to go up in weight 20 pounds plus 2 reps in a span of like 3 days. So that just shows you that the strength is coming back pretty quick. And then here I did the back off set at 185, and I was able to bang out 15 reps here. Whereas on the previous workout, my back off set was at 165 and I only got 12. So I went up 20 pounds plus 3 reps in like 3 days. So that's showing you that the strength is coming back fairly quickly. And so I'm liking this approach that I'm doing of just the 2 top sets, and I don't plan on changing it anytime soon. I'm going to see how far I can take this and run with it on this low volume, high frequency approach. Plus my workouts are super short, which I really like. I'm in and out in less than an hour every time. And then this was just a couple days after the bench. I've been alternating starting off bench or incline. I started off here at incline, and I went up to 205 on the incline as well. And I was able to get 8 at 205 on the incline. I believe before this on the incline, I had done 175 for like 6. So I went way up on here. I went up like 30 pounds plus 2 reps in probably 4 or 5 days. So again, that's pretty significant because I am taking these sets to failure. They're not really submaximal sets, or pretty close to failure. You can see I don't have a spot, so I don't go to complete failure. And then I backed off here at 185. I think I got like 11 here. I don't really remember. I think it was 11. But before this, my back off on the incline was just 145. And that was for like 12 reps. So I went up like 40 pounds and was able to keep the reps, and that's just on a 4 or 5 day difference. So strength really sucked at first, but even just over a 4-week period, it's come back really, really quickly. And this is why I want to be in the gym as often as possible, because every time I train, I'm showing an improvement in strength. So the more often I train, the faster I'll get back to where I was at. Still got a long way to go.